Hello class, my name is Petria Loraidira and my presentation is on Relocating the Value of Work, Technical Communication in a Post-Industrial Age by John Dan Johnson, Ilola. The history of technological products versus today. Then, factories produced goods such as washers, automobiles, clothing, and television. Information was subordinate to industry. Although the information supported products, the highest value was in the industrial product. Today, we work and live in a post-industrial age. Information now is fast becoming the more valuable product. Although products are still manufactured and purchased, the primary value is located in the information given. Technical communication as service. Technical communication has a position in both the academic and the corporate spheres. The tendencies are present in varying degrees in most areas of technical communication. They are the most visible in documentation. Relocating the value of documentation into a post-industrial relationship, people can then work to re-articulate technical communication as a post-industrial discipline. A well-written software documentation allows users to complete their primary work, such as writing a report on a word processor or compiling a business productivity chart in a spreadsheet. A number of theories have suggested the need to move beyond our current limited status. We can start by methods such as integrating technical writing earlier into the design process, or broadening our goals beyond simple skills. Although these calls are useful, they do not go far. For it to be an effective change, we need to rethink our mission in more fundamental ways than how to make our current practices more efficient. Consequences of the support model for professional and users. The support model of technical communication encourages corporations to view technical communication as something to be added onto a primary product. The value is located in a technological product, such as a piece of software, so the support becomes diminished. Sometimes the technical communicators struggle to make documentation a part of the software development process rather than an afterthought. The workplace power structures implicated in this model downplay the authority of technical communicators even in areas they are qualified to speak to. Users may be disempowered when technical communication prioritizes its supportive role. The common practice of instructing users in functional but not conceptual aspects of technologies can adversely or even fatally affect users. Relocating the value of work from technical to communication. This shift from efficiency and speed to connection and selection has been largely ignored by technical communication. It has been successfully adopted and adapted in numerous other areas, including such diverse occupations as management consulting and literary theory. Two key shifts can aid our work. Those key shifts are transformation from an industrial economy to an information economy and flattening of corporate hierarchies. Even corporations that one might commonly think of as producing technological products are in many ways now in the business of producing and selling information. The rapid growth of the computer industry, for example, now relies on the demands made by new software releases in order to drive hardware purchases. 20 years ago, companies such as IBM and Wang provided customers with a big iron computing system as their primary product. Support systems such as software and technical assistance were considered valuable by customers, but were clearly subordinated to hard technology. Today, software companies like Microsoft explicitly dictate standards for major sections of the computer hardware industry. From support to symbolic analytic work. Symbolic analytic work involves working within and across information spaces. These workers are highly skilled in information manipulation and abstraction, critical and much sought-after skills in an age where information overtakes industry in terms of socio-economic value. Routine production. This is a repetitive task performed by the old foot soldiers of American capitalism in the high-volume enterprise. Technical communicators fall into routine production in cases where their work becomes defined slowly in terms of routine manual writing for large, homogeneous software products. The writers, for example, who must produce the definitions for 400 technical procedures following a predetermined template vocabulary and readability level. In-person service workers. This is a repetitive task and is usually closely supervised. Technical communicators, especially those working freelance or in large companies, may frequently find themselves doing in-person service work. The common activity of interviewing technological content area experts to document software or other products sometimes falls under in-person service work, especially in cases where the status differential between technical communicator and research person are laid bare. Symbolic analytic workers possesses the ability to identify, rearrange, circulate, abstract, and broker information. Symbolic analysts differ from the other jobs classifications in terms of status, responsibility, geographic mobility, and pay. Unlike routine production workers, they are more able to move from place to place because of their higher disposable incomes and because companies will often pay moving expenses for their services. They can also frequently telecommute, uploading and downloading information over the World Wide Web, Internet, and intranets, faxing reports to clients, and conference calling on the telephone. And unlike in-person service workers, symbolic analytic workers deal with situations not easily addressed by routine solutions. Tactics for rearticulating technical communication. Experimentation. This involves forming and testing hypotheses about formation and communication. For technical communicators, usability studies constitute a primary area for experimentation, a place to try out different approaches to problems. Technical communication often limits usability studies to straightforward checks for accuracy and ease of use, a fact reflective of the common focus on functionalism over critical interpretation in technical communication. Collaboration. This helps symbolic analysts work together to solve problems while crossing complex disciplinary domains. Collaboration marks one area that technical communication has entered into relatively quickly, both responding to and critiquing workplace processes and structures for writing. Abstraction. This requires students not merely to memorize information, but also to learn to discern patterns, relationships, and hierarchies in large masses of information. As with other aspects of symbolic analytic work, the low profile of abstraction relates partially to notions of authorship that prioritizes the creation of original content and subordinate work that seems derivative and functional. System thinking. This works at a level above abstraction, requiring symbolic analysts to recognize and construct relationships and connections in extremely broad, often apparently unrelated domains. Systems thinking works beyond problem-solving approaches in order to understand systematic conditions. Technical communication education, 5 key projects. Technical communication must begin by making it clear that its work is not secondary to the product, but sometimes primary. If we would like to make a serious change in our positions, we need to rethink our mission in more fundamental ways than how to make our current practices more efficient. Educators can address 5 key projects that might help students become better educated for their new roles. Those key point projects are connect education to work, question educational goals, question educational processes and infrastructures, build meta-knowledge, network knowledge, and self-reflective practices, and last, rethink interdisciplinarity. The key projects: connect education to work. Investigate how to fulfill the traditional roles of technical communicators, but also look at the types of research going on in management theory, information management, interface design, and labor theory. Next is question educational goals. Take on the difficult task of questioning educational goals at a variety of levels. A more productive position would be to take the tack described in the first project and apply it to education. Question educational processes and infrastructures. Make it clear what the benefits are of resistance learning. Insist on defining education in broad terms that must include more than just seat time and test scores. Understand ways that network communication can positively affect education and work to create additional positive environments. Next is build meta-knowledge, network knowledge, and self-reflective practices. Think about new formations for knowledge that rely on network organization, meta-knowledge, and meta-work that act at a level above current knowledge structures. And last is rethink interdisciplinarity. Require classes in rapid field learning that help students develop strategies and tactics for picking basics of new fields quickly so that they can enter into the formative stages of those conversations. And here are some questions. Do you agree with the author regarding us living in a post-industrial society? In which of the 3 categories, routine production, in-person service workers, or symbolic analytic workers, do you see yourself? And last, do you believe that over the years everything will be technology-based?